Eternals and the mythologies around them. Eternals tells the tale of immortal superbeings Homo Immortalis, who have been protecting humanity for thousands of years against its greatest enemies, the Deviants. The Eternals were created by the Celestials, ultra-powerful beings who created the universe itself. The film features a powerful cast including the likes of Angelina Jolie, Kit Harington, Richard Madden, Salma Hayek, and Gemma Chan, among others. The film heralds Marvel's much-anticipated Phase 4 and has brought these exciting and novel immortal superheroes into the fold. The Eternals like Sersi, Ikaris, Thena, etc. share a great deal of similarities with certain names from various mythologies, including Greek, Roman, and Indian. In this video, we will explore all 10 Eternals and learn about their mythological, historical, and literary origins. By the way, there's something interesting waiting for you at the end of the video. Do check that out. So, without further ado, let's begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Number 1. Sersi. Gemma Chan's character of Sersi is primarily the lead protagonist of the film. She's an Eternal who can manipulate matter and change the molecular structure of things. For example, changing stone to ice or sand to water, or practically just about any change when it comes to changing the molecular structure. Furthermore, she's extremely empathetic towards humans and can go to any lengths to save humanity, even if that means risking her own life in the process. Although her character is depicted as someone who is gentle and compassionate yet vulnerable, the comic portrays her differently, in which she's outgoing and a flirtatious socializer. Nevertheless, it's her vulnerability that makes her heroics more enhanced. However, Sersi gets her name from Sersi in Homer's Odyssey. In this piece of ancient literature, she was portrayed as a powerful sorceress and daughter of Helios, the sun god. In Odyssey, Sersi transforms Odysseus's men into pigs and tries to do the same to him, but the Olympian god Hermes comes to Odysseus's help, and that's how he convinces Sersi to transform the pigs back into his men. After this, the two of them go on to spend a year on her island and fall in love. If we talk about Hindu mythology, Sersi resembles goddess Parvati, who is the goddess of harmony and love, among other things. Like Parvati, Sersi also wanted peace and harmony. Number 2. Ikaris. Ikaris, played by Richard Madden, is clearly the poster boy of the films, and he seems like the Superman of the MCU. I mean, he can fly, shoot beams of cosmic energy from his eyes, and is immensely powerful. In one of the scenes, Phastos' son claims that Ikaris was Superman and wears a cape, a statement that Ikaris denies. Nevertheless, Ikaris has been portrayed as a tough guy who's loyal only to the cause of his creators, the Celestials. Madden's character was definitely referenced from Ikaris, a minor character from Greek mythology. Ikaris was the son of an accomplished inventor named Daedalus, who worked for King Minos of Crete. Daedalus had invented a huge maze-like labyrinth for his king, but after earning the king's disfavor, both Daedalus and Ikaris were banished in the maze. Finding no escape from the maze of his own creation, Daedalus built wings of feather and wax for himself and his son, but warned Ikaris that he shouldn't fly too close to the water, for the feathers would get wet, and not too close to the sun, for the wax would melt. The two of them flew out of the labyrinth, but like any young child, Ikaris ignored his father's advice and soared high in the sky, flying too close to the sun, which melted the wax, and Ikaris fell to his death. Ikaris the Eternal also shares the resemblance with the Hindu god Shiva, who is also known as the Destroyer, and Vishnu, who is known as the Protector. Number 3. Thena. Played by Angelina Jolie, Thena is one of the greatest warriors amongst all Eternals. She can produce practically any weapon using her cosmic energy. Although Thena's intellectual side has not been explored in the film, and she also has a cosmic mental condition called Mad Weary, according to the comics, Thena is a highly intellectual being who has gained immense knowledge under the most learned Eternals. Thena's character bears stark resemblances with Athena, the Greek goddess of warfare and wisdom. It was believed that she was an intelligent being who was extremely practical and realistic, courtesy of her birth from the forehead of her father, Zeus. She represents the civilized aspects of war, such as justice and nobility. However, her fury is known to be insurmountable when any god earned her displeasure. She is believed to be the patron and protector of several Greek city-states, the most notable of them being Athens. Likewise, Thena dedicates herself to the protection of humanity. However, the character of Thena is also similar to the goddess Durga from Hindu mythology. The legend of goddess Durga is a fascinating one. She was created by the three most powerful gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, to destroy a demon named Mahishasura, who had a boon, according to which only a woman could kill him. Mahishasura even captured heaven, but was ultimately killed by Durga, who is also known as the goddess of war and protection.
We're Eternals.
Number 4. Ajak. Played by Salma Hayek, Ajak is the primal Eternal who can speak to the Celestials whenever required. She acted as a bridge between the Celestials and the Eternals, and lived to serve the Celestials. But one particular mission that the Celestials assigned her made Ajak reconsider the existing state of affairs. Although the character was a male Eternal in the comics, Salma Hayek successfully gave her character a mother figure, and no one is complaining. The character is probably named after Ajax, the second greatest warrior of the Trojan War after Achilles. However, he was more of a defensive warrior and killed only when attacked. This probably explains Ajak the Eternal's healing powers. Number 5. Kingo. Played by Kumail Nanjiani, Kingo is an Eternal who could shoot beams of energy from his hands. Although there's no major mythological or historical figure to relate Kingo with, there did exist a Babylonian god named Kingu.
This is what the end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
Number 6. Sprite. Played by Leah McHugh, Sprite is the odd one out. While all the Eternals are adults, Sprite is the only one who looks like a 13-year-old girl. However, her powers are immensely important to the group, as she can project lifelike illusions to get out of trouble or create trouble for others. There are several references to child deities in various mythologies, but the term Sprite comes from European folklore, which addresses mysterious fairies and pixies as sprites. The most famous sprites in English literature are probably Puck from William Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream and Ariel from The Tempest. These entities are famous for scaring people and wreaking havoc in a grim and humorous way whenever they enter the mortal world. This explains Sprite's the Eternal's powers of creating illusions. According to the comics, Sprite wanted to live life as an adult, and in the process, he erased the memories of all other Eternals. He was killed and later given a rebirth in the form of a girl. Number 7. Phastos. Played by Brian Tyree Henry, Phastos is the tech guy for the Eternals. Although he has other powers in the comics, the film focuses on his abilities as the master of weapons and a visionary inventor. Phastos helped humanity accelerate its social and technological developments by providing them with pieces of technology, and guided several technological revolutions. But these revolutions came at a price. Soon, there was bloodshed because of the extensive use of weapons like guns. Phastos is most certainly an avatar of the Greek god Hephaestus, who was the god of metalworking, sculpturing, stonemasonry, forging, etc. As a god, Hephaestus forged weapons for other gods of Olympus, serving as their master blacksmith and weapons master. However, Phastos bears a resemblance with the Hindu god Vishwakarma, who is believed to be the god of machines. Number 8. Makkari. Played by Lauren Ridloff, Makkari is the super sprinter of the Eternals. Like Ajak and Sprite, her character was transformed into a female in the film, while the comics Makkari was a male. It's often seen that speedster superhero are discarded as the more unworthy ones in the group. However, Makkari shows prowess and battle skill when she manages to subdue one of the most powerful characters who appeared in the film. The name Makkari is obviously a hint towards the Roman god Mercury, who was the god of messages and travelers. Mercury was known to move swiftly between worlds, much like his Greek counterpart Hermes. However, Mercury was also the god of eloquence, and, on the other hand, ironically, Makkari couldn't speak. Number 9. Druig. Played by Barry Keoghan, Druig is an Eternal who can manipulate people's minds and make them do his bidding. He is kind of like Professor X, but had way more powers than the Professor. However, Druig doesn't necessarily have a mythological counterpart.
His specialty is a strong punch.
Number 10. Gilgamesh. Played by Don Lee, Gilgamesh is the muscle man of the Eternals. Although a powerful Eternal, he is also kind, considerate, and compassionate towards his fellow Eternals, especially Thena. Like other Eternals, his powers are largely understated and unexplored in the film, but one punch from his mighty fist, and even the baddest of bad guys will need a place to hide. Historically speaking, Gilgamesh's character was named after the Sumerian king Gilgamesh, who was first mentioned in a poem that dates back to 2 millennia BC. King Gilgamesh was a mighty man who sought immortality, but instead learned the meaning of life. Interestingly, when the gods became wary of him, they sent Enkidu, an equally powerful but uncivilized man. The two of them initially fought each other, but in the end, they became friends and went on many adventures. Unfortunately, it seems unlikely that Gilgamesh the Eternal would have any such bromance on screen. Lastly, there's a massive reveal about Kit Harington's character of Dane Whitman, But more on that in another video. Now, time for the promise we made in the beginning. Have you checked out our video about Null, the god of symbiotes, and the dude who once killed the Celestial? Null ruled over a vast empty vacuum that was there when the universe hadn't come into existence, when there was no light or life. But then came the Celestials, who created light and life. This basically pissed Null off, and he went on a rampage. He's the same ultra-villain whose sword was stolen by Gore the God Butcher, who Christian Bale will play in the upcoming film, Thor: Love and Thunder. Please check out the link in the description to know everything interesting about Null. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.